Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Redesigning Your Relationships. I am Yvette Valdenegro, your host, and you may notice that there isn't this adorable person with me today. That's because the wonderful Giovanna Burgess White is scanning the globe and enjoying some time off. And let me just say this, that is the perfect scenario when you're in a business with someone else that you can actually take time off. You can go do things and support one another in your journey. So here I am flying completely solo. If any of you really know me, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. Okay, but let's get into what the heck we're going to talk about. So listen. I specifically knew the minute I knew that Gio was not going to be here, I said, okay, I want to bring on someone who I really think needs to be heard because she has amazing things to say, especially for those of us that are 40 and above. And what I love about her is she's going to tell you the truth. She's going to be honest. She's going to bring it. And there's so many things that we need to know in regard to our bodies and what's happening, and not to listen to the marketing hype that is out there. No. So don't turn this off. If you are a woman and you are over 40, I can guarantee you she's about to share some things that you need to hear. But before I bring her on, I also want to remind you, during this live, if you want to send in any questions, comments, if you want to give feedback, please do. Later on, we will go back and listen to the replays and look at any of the comments that y'all have. You can find us on all of the major podcasting platforms. And as always, we love your questions and your comments. So please continue to send them in and let us know what you want to hear too. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on my lovely co-host for today.
Yay.
And here she is, Nancy. First, I just want to say thank you for being brave enough on here with me as I am flying solo.
But you're doing fabulous.
Oh, thank you. But as I said, I knew immediately. I was like, there's one topic I don't think we hear enough about, and that is what we're going to bring today, about just talking about what's going on with our physical bodies. But first, please tell everybody who you are and how amazing you are and what you do.
So amazing. Thank you, first of all, for having me. I really appreciate it. For those that don't know me, I'm Nancy Leeds Gribble. I'm the founder of Nourish, Lift, Grow. And I have those because, as my name, because we need to nourish our bodies, our minds, and our souls from the inside out. We need to lift each other up in community. We also need to lift weights, and we need to have a continual growth mindset. The minute we stop having that growth mindset, to me, we stop living. Like, we always want to be proactive in our life and not just reactive or stagnant. But I help women in midlife and beyond gain optimal health, energy, and vitality so we can live life longer fully. And so I think, you were discussing kind of our age, and there's a lot of misconceptions about what happens in midlife. So I want to smash those and tell people we are not stuck and we can continue to be unstoppable in our life.
Yes, I love it. Okay. And that's where I really want to get to, because I can tell you right now, if you were to, because our phones listen to us, they hear what we're talking about. If you were to go on my Instagram, all my socials, what comes down right now, obviously gray hair because I'm transitioning and all that. But obviously I must be talking about it. I've been upping up my game with workouts. I've been really trying to watch more of what I eat and make more of a lifestyle back like what I had before.
Yeah.
So it's like my phone knows. But what's coming at me are quick fixes, pills, and things that now that I've been working on mindset, which let me go back just one step. The other reason I really wanted to bring you on is because we both really believe in the whole aspect of we're whole people. Yes. And everything we do stems from ourselves. And most importantly, it's funny how we go, oh, our job and our relationships and our kids are the things that are outside of us, right? But the first thing that's outside of us is this beautiful shell that we're living in.
Yes.
And so again, it's like we have this shell, we're the person on the inside, and it's like we hop over the shell to get to the job, the relationships, having fun and doing all the things. And we forget this beautiful body that we're living in.
Yes.
So, and I know that you 100% get that. And so let's go back to what I was saying about the marketing. Marketing is feeding us what I think, and you can say whatever you want on here because it's our podcast. Except for we do excuse once in a while, we'll say like, oh my gosh, if any little kids are listening, please make sure you turn down the volume because this might be that episode. But it's crap. It's literally crap. So why don't you just share with what your thoughts are about this?
Yeah. So let's just take it back to when we were growing up. For anybody 40 and older, we grew up in the, God forbid, if you eat more than 1,200 calories, no fat, do not have fat. And we were told, eat all these other things instead of fat. And all these other things were processed and they were made with sugar and they were terrible for us. But we really grew up in the mentality of eat less, and just to be skinny, right? That's marketing. Marketing is not about our health at all. Marketing is trying to just sell you something. Labels, I'm such a big thing on labels because it'll say, get your blueberries on the front. And if you actually read the back, there's like no blueberries in it. I'm going to toss out a book, Salt, Sugar, Fat. If anyone wants to dive deeper into how marketing is set to create kind of these hysterias that we need to buy into, that's the book. And how they never look out. They're really not looking out for our health. And we have to become our own health detective, our own nutrition investigator, and know what is right for us. There is no quick fix, but this I can tell you, the old adage of eat less and work out hours and hours and hours is long gone. And especially for women in midlife and beyond. We have to fuel our bodies with the right foods, and we have to work out strategically, not longer. And then we can really just feel fantastic, and you don't have to go on all the hormone replacements, and you don't have to starve yourself. And it's amazing how great we feel.
And I love what you just said, because all that is so counterintuitive, exactly what you just said.
Yes.
If we've been spoon-fed years, and I do mean years, I remember watching my mom. She was the first, well, first of all, I started working out when I think I was in 6th grade because it was soccer. And then all the way through high school, I was I don't even call it, but someone who did sports year round. Okay.
Yeah.
For all those years. I also then was working out, but I also saw my mom, who was definitely a part of the generation of the Jane Fonda.
Yes.
Right. Which one aspect of Jane Fonda I think is amazing. I do like her workouts. I do like that it's long, lean, that she is doing things to increase your muscle mass. But again, like you just said, it was all purposed to be skinny. If I hear that word, skinny, little, petite, thin, like those are all that. Twiggy was one of the main models, like all, what we saw in magazines were women who didn't have hips, no curves. And actually, I remember looking at magazines sometimes going, do these people eat? Like thinking, no. But your brain tells you this is what you're supposed to look like. This is what is beautiful. And this is what people covet. So
and marketing,
that's the aim. That's what we're told. But everything you just said was totally counterintuitive to what we've been taught. And that's hard to switch our brain from on and off to like, what are we really supposed to be focusing on?
Oh my God. It's so hard. And it really is. It's the marketing of skinny. I have so vivid. I mean, I went on, no lie, like a lettuce and ketchup diet for like 30 days when I was younger. I mean, I was just constant diet after diet. And I have the Tab commercial. Like it was my dream. That lady coming out. Do you remember it? She's walking out of the water. I don't know how she got in the water. She's walking out of the water. She's glowing. She's tan. She's lean. And it's like Tab. And I love Tab. It's a beautiful feeling, a beautiful life. And it was like, oh my God, if I can just be skinny, everything will be right in my life. Well, we know that is not how it works. And what we've really done is we have disrupted our own biological processes, and it catches up. with us when we're older. So then we're older and now we've got hormones, and now maybe we have all that yo-yo dieting, all that lack of real nutrition has caught up with us, and where it's paramount, because we have bone loss automatically when we age. We have muscle loss automatically when we age. And here's the thing. What I've learned, I was a realtor for 25 something years in Florida, and I switched to this career. And when I switched is when I learned everything. And it's like, oh my God, we're supposed to be eating so much more than we are. And that is a very hard mindset. It took me a while, because it's like, aren't I going to get fat? Aren't I going to get fat? And guess what? You don't. Your body starts to level out. Your body says, thank you. Thank you for feeding me. And I went through all my 50s. I always want to tell people, I didn't start my whole real journey until my late 40s. So I always say, you're never too old. It's never too late. And all through my 50s, though, I never went on hormone replacement. I didn't have crazy menopause symptoms. I didn't gain a pound all through menopause. And I really accredit it to the lifestyle choices of knowing what to eat, the amounts of proteins and fats and carbohydrates our bodies really need to function fully. And it's a game changer, but there's a lot of mindset to that. With most of my clients, when I set their macronutrients up, they're like, how much food am I supposed to eat? I'm like, yeah. It's going to be fun. We're not starving here. Now, it might be a little different. You can't eat all cakes and cookies, but
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'd be that person. But I think it's because when I try to eat, like I literally try to eat more proteins, because I know one that's gonna sustain me. It's the building block that I need, and that's gonna help keep me full. But I'm not hungry all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of times I'll go, listen to your body. If I just rode my bike, then obviously I'm gonna need immediate fuel. Versus I'm just kind of hum-hawing and I get up and my body doesn't go, hi, feed me, so I'm trying to really listen to more of what my body's telling me. But a lot of times I find that I'm not hungry. Is that like a thing? I mean, do people?
It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. And just like, and you have to train your body. So, I mean, because it's not used to getting maybe the amount that you need, or it's not getting the right foods the right way. Like you need the right amount of protein to build your muscles. Those are the building blocks of every cell that we have. You need the right amount of carbohydrates for your energy and your hormones and your mood. And you need the right amount of fats for your brain health and things like that. So sometimes it can be that. And sometimes you just have to graduate into it. I wouldn't take somebody who's been eating, say, 1,200 calories and say, now I'm going to have you eating 1,700 calories. Like there's a graduated system there. So because you do want to combine what I would say the tracking and the awareness, I call tracking awareness, with the intuitiveness. But intuitively, some of us are just trained like we just don't eat that much. And so that's just where we're at. And we want to make sure you're eating the right amounts just for your bodily functions. But honestly, you could be eating the right amount, really. So that's why you're not hungry. I haven't analyzed, so I don't know.
No, I know. I'd venture to say I'm probably the stereotypical woman who trained herself not to eat, right? Because you think food is bad. Food is bad. Food is bad. Food is bad. It's not bad. But that's what the mindset is. And speaking of like going back to marketing, this is for anybody. Marketing alone always tells you, because this is what they train us in classes or whatever, to sell to the person what they don't have. Make them believe they don't have what it is that you're wanting. Well, obviously on some degree, and that's a good thing, because obviously there are things that people want, right? You're going to need toothpaste. You're going to need the latest and greatest, whatever it is, deodorant and all that kind of stuff that's out there. I get that. But when it comes to health matters, especially in the industry where we all know that medicine is taking over because it's just a money-making machine, they're making you believe that you are without something that you really have to have. And I think that goes into the people that are my age that go, food is bad. It's all like combined together. So yes, that's why I love what you do, because you really do help your clients start working on the inside because again, this is just a shell, but what's really happening, working, changing behaviors, modifying things is going to start from within.
Yeah, always. And part of that, what you were just mentioning, Sue's bad, there is no good or bad food. I like to say there is food that serves your health and your goals, and there's food that does not. And you always have a choice. And even I'm, I'm vegan, I'm plant-based. I work with everybody because I feel everybody could eat more plants, whether you're vegan or not. Lost my train of thought. But it's the quality of the food that you're eating. But I say I'm mostly plant-based because you can bet, like, I still have some processed foods. I still have other things, but they're a very small chunk because they don't serve my overall health, but they serve my fun a little bit, right? So you want to have that too. But labeling of food, which is again how we grew up, this is bad for you, this is good for you. I think when you say it really serves my health or my goals, or it really doesn't, gives it more, puts the power back in your hand. It's not like I'm depriving myself, it's because it's bad for me. I am choosing not to have that because I want to prevent disease. I want to prevent illness. I want to get off medication. I want to lose some weight, whatever it is. Like, that's why you're making the choice, not because you've been told to stay away from that. And I think that's part of the mindset thing. When you dig deeper into your, like, why you're doing something, it makes it much easier to sustain.
Yeah. And I love all the reasons that you said why, because when you're younger, your why really is, well, I want to look cute. I want to look this, all the external things, right? But as you get older, you start to realize, I would like to be around for grandchildren if they come. I want to have good health so I can be mobile and go travel and go do things and enjoy my life. So your mindset does start to change, and you start to open up more to, okay, what can I really be doing to help myself? So I always think of, like, if I was the person listening to this podcast, right, what in the world would I want to know, or what would I want to hear? And I would be listening already thinking, like most people do, okay, A, you don't understand my situation, right? We get that all the time. And then B, I feel like, where does someone even start? Because we do have so much junk coming at us. Where do we start?
Yeah. I think one, it's very easy to look at other people and go, oh, it's easy for you. You don't understand. But unless you know the backstory, right, you don't know. So, and it's honestly, that's just an excuse. It's really just pushing the focus on something else so you can avoid looking at yourself. And when you ask where you start, that is where you start. You have to get very honest with yourself. You have to kill the fat. Now, when I say kill the fat, you have to kill the false assumed truths that are holding you back. Those stories that you are choosing to hang on to, and maybe not consciously. I don't tell people, this is not a judgment thing. You're hanging on to those because maybe at one time they served a purpose. I'm too busy. I don't have the resources. It's in my DNA. Like, we're just all big bone, big people. Oh, my menopause is worse than your menopause. These are stories, and they're false assumed truths that we're holding on to that are allowing us to stay stuck. So you have to say, okay, am I really where I want to be? And let me really look at my life. Don't look at your life like when you were younger. Don't try to be that person again. And kill the I knows. I think this stops the majority of women in our tracks. I say it all the time. I work with smart, successful, savvy women, right? We've raised families, built careers. We're charitable. We're on the go. And yet we're like, oh, why can't I get like this health, my health or my weight under control? And then you go, I know what to do, right? I know what to do. Why am I not doing it? Because you keep telling yourself you know what to do. But the truth is, unless you've done something consistently and successfully, allow yourself to be humble and go, you know what? Maybe I just don't know. Maybe I just don't know what I think I know. And find somebody Who knows? Find somebody who has what you have, who knows what you want to learn. I hired you guys. I did the StreamYard program with you because you know something I needed to know. I don't know. I had to tell myself, I don't want to figure this out on my own. I want to shorten the curve, right? And I want to learn from people who can teach me. And so we have to get humble. And I think that's a very hard thing for smart, successful women, is to get humble with this and say, where am I really right now? What do I really need? And that is really the first place to start. Because if you want to hang on to all the stories and all the things, your success is going to be short-lived. That's my opinion.
And I applaud your opinion, and I agree, because again, what we teach, it doesn't matter what it is that you're trying to grow and get better in. If it's your health, if it's your relationships, it all starts from within. And it's our mindset of how we view, and like you said, the stories that we tell ourselves over and over and over that may be emotionally like we're connected to those stories somehow, but more often than not, we've exaggerated them, blown them up a little bit. And over time, because that works to serve us better to believe those things than to do the harder, which actually turns into the easier, to let it go and just like figure out that thought is not serving. Why am I caught up in whatever it is that is not serving me anymore? And that goes for anything in life, but so well said. Love it.
Yeah. And most people don't realize they're hanging on to that. Like, they have no idea. It's just natural. It's second nature to say those things. I'm too busy. It's this, it's that, it's this. It's never going to happen. I've tried a million things. It's just not meant for me. And then you're marketed with all the quick fixes that kind of say, just do that. It's easier, because honestly, taking care of your health, and if you have weight loss or you want to change your body composition, it is work. Mm-hmm. It is work, but the payoff is phenomenal. The payoff is life. That's a pretty good payoff.
And it's a great payoff, and feeling amazing. From the inside out.
Yeah.
Which and again, I guess as you get older too, you start to really realize we are just living in a shell. This is just a package. Who we really are is on the inside, but that's not how we're raised. That's not what we hear. And people this is the bottom line. People still don't put a lot of value on who individuals are on the inside. We still live in a world that 100% sizes you up within the first 5 seconds of meeting you based on what they see. They don't even know you, right?
Yeah.
You could be an astronaut and 5 doctoral, certificates, and someone's still going to go, oh, but you're this, that, and the other. So I'm not really, that's personally. And we believe all that. I mean, we're all succumb to thoughts, behaviors, attitudes, and actions that lead to not some great things based on how we are all individually receiving the information that we get. And obviously, I think because food is really, like you said, it's nutrition. It's how we fuel our bodies to survive. And when you go to the go get gas, you're not going to put diesel in a regular gasoline car, right? And then even people who have newer cars, they don't put the old gas in. They put the more expensive gas with all the fun little chemicals in it based on what kind of car you have or whatever. So we're so conscious of our cars and what we put into it and making sure all the oils and the transmission oil and everything's taken. But when it comes to our bodies, like you said, we just go, I don't know. I don't really know.
It's easier. Go to McDonald's, do whatever, go to the drive-thru. It's easier. It's easier. I'll do it. I'll start Monday. And maybe in the next Monday. That's like, I'll start so many times. I'm like, join my program. It's not the right time. It's never. I just want to say there are very few, I call them crunch periods, when you have real traumatic grief things in your life. Those are crunch periods. And they can include anything from a death, a career loss. I mean, maybe that is not the right time. But the rest of the time, it's just your life. And so you're going to have to figure it out. You're going to have to figure out how to do this in your life. And so it's always the right time in that scenario. Like waiting for perfect, it just keep you on the sidelines. You're never going to jump fully in. And don't you want to jump fully in to your own life, right? And that starts with your health. And going back to what you said, you have to give yourself grace. I think this is a big one too, is for all the years before, it's like we have to give ourselves grace for maybe how we treated our body, maybe how we got to this point. You know, if you're looking down and you're going, oh my God, when did this happen? I'm tired. I have no energy. I look lackluster. I feel heavy. You don't have to always be heavy to feel heavy. And how did I get here? And it's like, just, okay, I'm here. Like I'm here. I give myself grace. Our bodies have done a lot for us. Like it carried you to this point. Now we talked about this before the podcast. Now you can be like, because I love me, I'm gonna take a different care of me now. Like I'm going to not work out and not eat healthy because I hate the way I look or I hate all the things I've done, but because I love who I am. I love the people in my life and I want to be around for them so much longer. And hey, I might want to be around for my own life and live and go travel and do all the things I want to do. Start careers in 60s and 70s. I mean, it's doable. We could potentially live to 110, 120. We better take care of our health. 50 is no longer old. I'm going to be 59 this year. And I got a whole lot of living to do. You know, today's my dad's birthday. He's 92. It's also my son's birthday. He's 18. And so, but you know, there's a whole lot out there. So, but give yourself grace and give yourself love. When my private clients, I used to have them do mirror work where you had to go stand in front of the mirror and start from your forehead and work your way down and tell different body parts what you love about them. Every woman struggled with her midsection. Hello. And most had kids. Can we say thank you? Right? Like, and it's okay to want to look different, like, and feel different, but you still love who you are right now. Like you can love yourself and want something different. Yeah. They go hand in hand.
Oh my gosh. I could go on and on. And I feel like mainly because this is our age group, right? I hear it all the time. And one of the, okay, let me say this. I also like to give our guests when they come on an opportunity because it's just you and I, even though other people are going to listen to this. And I find that sometimes we have more freedom to say something because it's not like an actual person sitting in front of you that's a client, right?
Yeah.
So is there anything that you would want to tell people that are out there listening that sometimes when you're actually in front of someone, it's a little bit harder to say so strongly, but you really feel passionate about it and you know it's so true versus like you have this, there's listeners, but there's not someone who's like you're making eye contact with that's kind of like, listen, if there's something I could just really say, this is it.
Honestly, we have one life. And you can save up for your finances, you can save up for anything, but if you're not taking care of your health, none of that is going to matter. And if you don't start now, you may not get the opportunity. You know, I've lost a husband and a fiance to cancer. I lost my mother to cancer, and they didn't get, you know, my husband and fiance, they were young. They didn't get the chance. You have the chance right now, and it is your choice. You cannot continue to blame it on external things. And this one, we live in a very interesting society right now. And I am all about the body positivity, and your weight is not your worth. But your weight can be your health. And body positivity also means you do positive things for your body. And it's not popular for me to say that because, you know, oh my gosh, but it's true. We can't negate science. We can't negate what really happens to our body when we're putting in junk food and processed foods and we're not giving it movement and we're not taking care of our brains. You got to train your brain just like you train your body. And whether it's not about being skinny. It's about each person feeling their very best. I have body goals still, even in I might do a competition. There's nothing, I don't have to be ashamed about that either. But somebody who doesn't, they just want good health. That's right. Just go for good health. But that should be the core of everything is health. And so I think, you got to start now. That really would be what I would say. You've got to let go of all the externals and starting tomorrow and next year and this and that when my kids are grown, when they go to college, when my sofa's moved, whatever it is.
That's so true. We make up so many excuses. I feel like one of the number one excuses, and I'm sure you hear this as a coach too, is the financial excuse.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't have money to eat that well. I don't have money to go and get plant-based foods and be oral organic, or I don't have the finances to hire someone to help me do this. Mm-hmm. Okay. I 100% believe that there really are a lot of people who that is a struggle. And yes. the thought processes of, I have to put gas in my car, or I'm going to do this extra thing for myself. Like, I understand that is a true reality, but there's a lot of people who, when you watch and see what's really happening, they'll say, I don't have financially, even though they're in tears telling you, oh my gosh, I want this and I want this and I want this, but I don't have the finances, right? Mm-hmm. But then you see trips that are taken and I don't know, let's just say material things, clothing items and cars or restaurants that they're going to. And you, in the back of your mind, you just think, and nothing negative towards them, but it really does become what you just said. What is the priority? Is it truly your health and benefiting yourself now for your future? Or are you giving yourself the instant gratification for all those things that ultimately are just things, aren't going to help you in the long run?
It's the curse of someday. We all think we have more time. We want more time, but we all think we do. And this is so key. Just because you don't look sick on the outside does not mean you're not sick on the inside, right? Mm-hmm. How many people strolling along and they're like, oh my God, I just got a cancer diagnosis. Oh my God, my so-and-so just had a heart attack. They were so healthy. Mm-hmm. So-and-so this. How we look on the outside is not indicative really of what's going on the inside. The only thing that people notice on the outside is weight or, body composition, but that's not an indicator. I know many fitness people that are unhealthy. Like that is not ever. I say always, health has to be the first and foremost goal of everything. And don't compare. Don't compare your size to somebody else. I go, do you think in the animal kingdom, an elephant is looking at a giraffe going, I want to be like that giraffe? No, the elephant's like, I'm going to be the strongest, bad, elephant that I can be. And the giraffe is like, and I'm going to be the leanest, longest giraffe I can be. They're not comparing, right? So it's not about the body size. It's about how you feel and your health. I'm just throwing that out there.
No, it's so true. And that's why I wanted to bring you on, because I knew you're going to bring it and we could talk like this. Okay. So Nancy, tell everybody where they can find you. Yeah. And how they, more importantly, if they want to set up a call or talk to you one-on-one.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. So you can either my website, nancyleedsgribble.com. I'm on Instagram at Nancy Leeds Gribble. And then on Facebook at Live Your Healthiest, Happiest Life. On my website, you can set up a 15-minute kind of roadmap discovery call. And we just kind of go, where are you right now? And what might be the next right steps for you? That doesn't necessarily mean working with me. It's just whatever the right steps are for you. I always want people, whatever their path is just to get started. There's two things you have to do. You have to start and you don't quit. That's it. No, you don't have to be perfect. Nothing like that. Start, don't quit.
I love it. Okay. So start today by contacting Nancy right away. If you have questions, because you know what I think too, you start to process, right? You'll listen to something like this, and then later on in the day, You go to the refrigerator, you go to grab something else, and you're like, oh, that Nancy person said X, Y, and Z, right? That's what we do. It's a reminder. So then when that happens, remind yourself, you know what? This is the right time, because the here and the now, to reach out to you, get questions answered. Your 2 steps, I love that. And then really, like you said, or 3 steps to help someone really start the process of their own personal journey, because we're all on different journeys. So
yeah, everybody's different.
I love it. Okay, well, we're going to wrap up, and I'm going to leave Nancy on. Again, thank you for listening to Redesigning Your Relationship, and we're going to be excited when Giovanna gets back. We've got a lot of fun things planned throughout the whole summer and things that are coming up for the podcast. So once again, please leave any kind of comments. We love when you reach out to us and let us know what you want to hear. A lot of times that's why we bring on the people that we do, because we know that there's a need in a specific area. And we're just so happy that you're here. And thank you again, Nancy, for being here. And we will see everyone later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.